Hi and welcome back. So in the last video we started looking at constants, and the last thing I said was that const is a block scope variable. So in this video I want to introduce some blocks, some kind of a block, so that we can see exactly what the block scope behavior of const is in JavaScript. In the last videos we haven't really talked much about the block scoping, especially with the let variable keyword. But after we look at this video, you're going to understand exactly what I mean. So I want to introduce some kind of a block here, and I don't want to introduce a function, so I'll just do if. I'll just do an if block. So let's say true. If true, do the following statement. So I will take this and put it within this block, and this is going to help us. This is going to help us explain a lot of things. The reason I don't want to use Scratchpad without any kind of block is because of some issues we experienced with you in the last videos, whereby once I declare a variable and I run it, the variable is still stored in the browser memory. So if I introduce a block, it will help us curb such kind of issues. So here we have an if block. So basically we are going to look at these kinds of statements in future. Don't worry much about this. I'm just using this so that I can explain the const. But we are going to look at things like if else in upcoming videos. If not in upcoming videos, in upcoming courses. So just bear with me. So basically what this does is, if true, do whatever is inside this block. So the only reason I'm using the if is so that I can introduce a block. So that's a full block there. And we know that const, as I said in the last video, const is a block level variable. And one thing I didn't say in the last video is, once you declare a variable, once you declare a constant const with an identifier, you cannot use the same identifier to declare another variable. So for example, let me say I try to say var vat. If I try to do this, this will give me an error. So if I try and run this, you see it says the declaration of const vat, and that is the same for let. Even if I change the name of this to vat2 and vat2, so, and I try to run this, it will still give us the same error, the declaration of const vat2. So you cannot use the same identifier that you're using for a constant to declare another variable, and you can also not use the same identifier to declare a function. So if I say function vat2, just that, and let me remove this, and if I try to run, okay, let me put this one here, and if I try to run this, it also missing before statement. Where is that? Okay, this is function, not fuck node, whatever that is. So if I run this, you see redeclaration of const vat. So that basically means you cannot use the same identifier for a function, a variable within the same scope if you've already used the same identifier for a constant. So I hope you've understood the identifier thing, where you cannot use the same identifier for the same constant and also for a variable. So if I delete this, and then let me remove this va2 thing. Here we said, let me delete all of this. So maybe you might be thinking, oh, let me change the value of my const vat. Maybe vat has changed, so you want to change it, and you just come here and declare. So if I run this, you'll see the declaration of const is not allowed. But one thing about const that I have already told you is that it is a block level thing. So if I create another if and redeclare const vat, there won't be any issues. And we're going to see an exact example of that in the next video. So in this video, just go through everything I've spoken about using the same identifier for variables and functions. So I'll see you in the next video.